Hello. So if you are here because you want to learn how to do a card cutting, welcome. If you're just curious, welcome. Whatever reason, welcome. There's a little bit of an introduction and a disclaimer with this video, and pretty much anything that I would say, let's blanket everything that I would ever share witchcraft wise or just magic wise, whatever. This is like a little ritual. Make it your own as you see fit. I'm just gonna give you very basic pointers, so that and also very specific things as well. If you want to carry them out the same way that I do, that's okay. But I do definitely advise for you to do this yourself and tweak it as you like, right? And also, if you don't have some of the things, some things could be substituted. Obviously, if you think about it, you cannot substitute, for example, 2 candles, because you do need 2 candles. You know what I mean? But where the herbs and the salt that you use, the things that you use to scribe on the candles, the oil that you use, anything else can be so customizable to literally you can walk around your house and you probably have everything you need, okay, to do this. So this is not anything that like you need to magic, and honestly some of the best magic is very intuitive and is very simple, okay? It is super simple. I think we definitely see that if you want to just look around you and in patterns at nature is very simple, also appears very simple. There's a plethora of beauty behind everything that happens, but right at the core level, at the essence of it all, it is simplicity. It is just autonomy. It's just natural. And that's how this should feel for you, okay? I said all of that to say, this is basics of what you will need, okay? So, you are definitely gonna need 2 candles, right? One is gonna represent you, and the other is going to represent anything that you are trying to let go of. And we arrive at a cutting ritual because we have in many layers already healed or cut cords per se, let go of certain energies, places, things in your life, people, whatever it is, right? You don't just cut cords with people, you could cut cords with pretty much anything that you, like I said, you feel like you have healed, you have closure, you want to let it go completely. Because right now it's still in like your 3D reality, but you don't want that energy around anymore, or it's more of like it's time to part ways completely, because again, the lessons have been learned, the wisdom has been gained, and this could be a really good step to in the 3D reality, kind of find excuse me, the burping and everything going on. All right. It's a little hard to maybe speak about this, or like the words are hard to choose, or I don't know what's going on here. All right. Anyways, but yeah, so it's about a completion in a sense. Okay. This is not always about, oh, I need to forget about this person. No, you need to do that work first. And then once you have done the work that's behind all of this, almost like nature, right? Like I was saying, everything at the front looks kind of simple, but behind it, there was a plethora of things, right? Then you feel like, okay, I think my next step is doing a physical thing. I feel like my witchy self needs to get this out. All right, here you are. All right, 2 candles, one for them, one for you. You intuitively place yourself and them wherever you like, okay? I am a lefty, so I always place myself on this side. That's just me, I've never changed it up, but maybe I feel like changing it up sometime. But that's what I do. I put myself on one side and I put them on the other side. All right, so 2 candles for that. You need a control candle in the sense of, before you start all of this, right? I would say, like, once I start my ritual, for example, this will be the first thing that I do. Light this. And maybe light some incenses if you can, if you have it. It's not mandatory, okay? Maybe you can If you have cinnamon sticks, you could burn a little cinnamon as well to cleanse. A little bit of smoke is good to have, but you, again, don't need it. You don't need it, right? I'm not lighting this right now because I already have this, okay? Which ideally, I like a more of a 7-day candle to be the control here. But however, you don't need it that way, right? You could definitely have this one be part of this. And for example, if I was going to be using this one instead of my big candle, I would, for example, put my control candle here. This is the one superseding everything, if you will. The candle that kind of like is purifying, cleansing the space as this is happening, because this is a lot of happening, okay? When you start burning, and it's a lot. You'll see, it's like I said, it's a release of energy. It's intense, okay? So this is for your protection and to anchor and kind of like I said, the control of this. You're using fire magic to kind of balance the fire magic, if you will, right? All right. That's that. You definitely need oil for when you carve into the candles. And you're going to rub a little bit of ashes on it. You need a little oil for everything to stick. However, this is an oil that I make. You don't have to do anything like this. You can use something as simple as olive oil or coconut oil. You're good. Vitamin E oil, whatever you have around. You're not going to put too much oil because remember, this is fire, okay? This is just a little bit of oil so that whatever you're scribing in there, writing, even if it's just your name and the other person's name, place, people, whatever it is, you want something on there, right? And it's part of the ritual. You're touching the candle, you're putting the essence of it, right? This ash is literally just incense ash. So if you burn incense, you can use that ash, okay? Or like I mentioned before, if you have cinnamon, you could rub it in with cinnamon, or you could just roll the candle around salt if you want. And that's enough too, okay? I just like for the things to pop that I write on there. Basically aesthetics, but also I just like it. I feel like it adds a little something, but to each their own, right? Obviously you need something that is fire safe, which this is metal. This is wood. I'm not gonna leave this on here. I have it on here because I like working on this plate when I'm like carving stuff in it and everything like that. But you need something, this is literally from the Dollar Tree, guys. So is this. You could also get the salt. You could get spices there. You could get incense there. Everything that you need. This could literally just be something that you go and buy, right? So just keep that in mind. It could be very, very simple. It could be a little bit more intricate and more bougie and more cute. Okay. You need a tool, which this is quite literally this is a nail tool to carve something with a little pointy end to carve on there. I sometimes also use a push pin. It's just a little less comfortable because it's so tiny to hold. Anything with a point, a needle would be cool. Yeah. And then what you see on here is salt. This is sea salt, lavender flower, and rosemary. You only basically need salt. But I add other stuff because I like to. Rosemary obviously is very it's very, very good, and so is lavender. I want this to go smoothly, but I do want the cleansing. Lavender is very cleansing, and so is rosemary. So yeah, and obviously, the string, because it is a cord cutting, so you do need this. This little rose that I'm adding on here, I'm not sure if I'm gonna leave it whole or if I'm gonna break it up yet. I'm not sure. This is just something that I took, that I had placed on Aphrodite's altar when I bought roses a little while back, little tiny roses. And for some reason, when I was giving her something yesterday, I was called to grab this and add it to the here. So I'm going to. Anything like that, obviously, if you already have like a spiritual practice in a sense of you have little altars, this and that, even if it's just your ancestors or something, anything you feel called to add to this, please do. Trust your intuition. Heavy on that. Trust your intuition, okay? All right, so I'm gonna put my little tools on the side, on the little plate, and I do, obviously you also need fire. I'm gonna put I do like to let everything rest on top of the salt. That's just me, okay? This has been ruminating for like 3 days because I've been planning to film this. I was just waiting for the right time. I would suggest the same thing when it comes to doing this. You could plan it out, but don't force yourself to it, okay? Wait until you come around to it, or when you feel completely dedicated to doing it. This is not something that you force upon yourself, okay? All right. So, I'm gonna still use that one probably. Actually, one of them is like a little broken. Okay, so I'm gonna use these two. All right, so yeah. I hope that kind of made sense. I know I rambled a little bit on there. Like I said, you could make this as intricate or as simple as you can. I think I might put together a little kit, a little box, a little ritual thing for cord cutting, just to make it more accessible, so that I so kind of doing the background work of it, and then this video could be like information for those who want to buy them and use them, I guess. But also I do want to be very adamant about the fact that this is not for me to sell anything. I want you to take magic into your own hands and the power into your own hands. And like I said, you can go and look for all of this, okay? And you probably won't need to spend much. So, all right. I'm gonna start with mine. And I'm definitely gonna put my name on it. My government name, guys. Which, by the way, I might as well say it. I'm Arlie Tarot, but my full name is in Spanish. It's in Spanish, but it's Arlenis. And I just go by Arlie because growing up I was Arle, which is Arlie in Spanish. Because if we don't say E, we said A with E's. Anyways. But in English it's Arlie. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stick to that. It's simple, short, cute, and sweet. But I do love my name. My name is beautiful. I just I like it when people say it right, you know? So that's why I just go with my nickname. Not to say that it bothers me when people say it wrong. I just like hearing it right. And, that's why I go with Arlie. But, yeah, there's my name, Arlenis. There's a little pentacle because that's what I felt like doing. No pressure here, okay? Sometimes I put angel numbers. I'm going to do a little bit of an infinity here. You probably won't be able to see anything until I put ashes on this. But, all right. I think I like 444 as well. So we're doing that. And, oh, a little pentacle at the bottom. I'm also going to do it for this one. And the other side of this, I think I have an idea of what I'm going to do for my own magic over here, because I am setting a cord cutting for real, right? But I'm not sure how I want to word what I want to put on this end. This could also be a teachable moment as far as we can work through this together so you can kind of see my process. So yeah, on this side, on your candle, you don't have to put names on this one. You can if you want to be very specific. But for yours, you should be very specific, right? Your name should be on here. You want to be very clear that this is you on this energy wanting to let go of this, right? So, yeah. It doesn't have to be your given name. It could be the name that you feel more comfortable with. Whatever truly resonates with you is what goes on here. Whatever truly resonates with you as your essence is what goes on here, okay? Hope that makes sense. I'm also going to put my bind rune, which is that one. All right. You could also put runes on here. That's funny. A protection rune is really good for this. Let's do that. Yeah, I feel satisfied about that. And then on this side, so like I was saying, this is like let me give you some examples. You can cut cords with like a specific person. Let's say this is very popular for past lovers, right? Or friendships or relationships in general. Definitely can do that. I have used it as well for letting go of old versions of myself, or not to deny them, or what should I say? Because I don't ever want to like be that again or whatever. It's not like in that way. It's more of I want like the release, because I've healed a lot, right? So I've done it with that. I've also, yes, I've done it with certain people. I've done that twice. And then you could also, like right now, I'm thinking of how do I want to phrase this, because I don't want to let go of all versions of me or anything specific right now. But I do want to, in a general sense, let go of what is maybe around me still that it no longer serves me, for example. So, how can we phrase this? All right, that's so simple. I literally said it just now, right? I can literally just write all that no longer serves me. Yeah. There's a lot of space in this candle, so you can write all of that. All right, there it is. I think I want to do another infinity over here. Right, okay. And going into this, your intention, or going into anything, honestly, your intention should always be, whatever is for my highest good. Because it could work, and this could actually let go of a lot of things that no longer serve me. But remember, what I'm perceiving that no longer serves me is serving me. So this is not going to work on those things. So it's good to pay attention, like 2 weeks after you do this. What shifts in your life, what changes, what messages start really coming in and they don't come in anymore, what people, energy, things change around you. It's key. This is not an end all be all. You're just like I said, you arrive here because you've gotten to a certain point where like you're ready to let go. You are also going to have the shadow side of that, where shadow period of it, where you're here now saying, okay, let's see after this beautiful letting go, like complete, like swiping the things clean, if you will, what transpires after that. It's key to pay attention to that too. I'm just gonna scribe a little something here really quickly because I feel like it. Actually, I'm going to scribe all over this. Interesting. I've never done that part. I mean, this is what scrying looks like to me. I do write from right to left because it feels natural. It's just a lot of like little swivels and shit, but it works. I said everything with intention. You put the magic in here that you're very comfortable with, okay? Like, same thing with whatever you're writing on here, like symbol-wise. Put the angel numbers that you like, whatever you feel called to, okay? Again, this is very, very intuitive, very creative, okay? Very demure, very mindful. All right. Okay, these waxy thingies, I just go ahead and do this. And that all goes into the spell as well. Nothing's wasted here. All right. Now we're gonna put a little bit, quite literally, I just need 1 drop and 1 drop. I don't need much of this. Like I said, it's oil, so maybe a little bit more. I'm sorry, that was That was so petty. Maybe 3 drops. Okay, that was 4. And that was 5 in total. Okay. Yeah. And then we just, everything gets coated, okay? Again, we're setting intentions here as we do this, okay? Example of what intentions are, because now I'm doing it in my head. I'm like, well, show the people. Anyways, something like, this is my candle, for example. When I was touching it, it was just like love and light, let go, everything will work out, you know, like, it's okay. Things are okay. This is for my highest good and the highest good of all, if you will, right? There we go. Now you can't really see it too much, but you can a little bit. Yeah, you can. There it is. Okay. I just want to make sure that this is mine, because sometimes if you don't put anything on the candle, you're like, okay, which candle is mine and which not, because they're white. I mean, unless you can actually see the writing on them. I'm just going to put it back here on the salt, okay? For right now. And then let's do this one. And then for this one, when I am letting go of energy, I have this thing that I say where it's, you know, I am grateful for what this has taught me. And that's also like a key point of this, believe it or not. You've gotten to a point where you feel like whatever you're cutting course with has taught you what it needed to, right? And if you have that feeling, you should honor that. And that's what you're doing here. You're saying, okay, thank you for what you have taught me, but now it's time to let go, right? That's what we mean when we say no longer serves you. It's not in the selfish way of, you know, if you're not for me, if you don't benefit me, you don't get to be in my life. And I'm talking about not just people, everything, right? It's not about that. It's about approaching things with saying, well, it is okay for things to run their course and for me to not be aligned with certain spaces, places, people, things, just as it is okay for them to not be aligned with me anymore, you know? That's all it is. That's where the gratitude and just the appreciation for the connection in the first place happens. It happens at the letting go of it as well, which is beautiful. Okay, honor that. I'm done with my little ashes that are so aesthetically in my little thingy, so I'm gonna definitely put it out of the way here. Right. Again, let's just throw everything in there. Okay. This is where now we get, you know, we get to decorate this. This is one of my favorite parts. Actually, I'm gonna dump the ashes in here too. You see, you just do whatever you want, okay? I don't think I was going to do that, but now I feel like doing it, so I did it. All right. And I'm gonna mix this, and this is you also putting intentions into this, okay? And again, same thing as what I was doing here, but with my intentions here is the salt is for protection, is for cleansing. Everything that's on here is for potential. Potential is an interesting thing, okay? Potential and protection as well. All right. Ooh. I'm making space for where the candles are going to be. I don't know how I want it to look though. Sometimes I like draw on the salt a little bit. Sometimes I don't. I feel like, all right, let's see what happens here. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. I just need to clear a little space for where they're gonna go. So I will go here, they will go there. Just trying to see what it looks like before I melt them on there and place them. And yeah, I'll decorate after this. Keep in mind I haven't washed my hands. I tend to do that on purpose. This is really interesting. Let me share this with you. I do have like sensory issues when it comes to like having my hands dirty. I was always someone that when I was eating, even if it was something that people naturally like hold with their hands, I would need like a knife and fork because of like the touching of stuff. And usually I wouldn't keep my hands with like the ashiness and all of this is going on right now. However, again, we go back to magic, and when things are just right, I don't feel that sensory issue when I'm doing stuff like this. I was gonna say keep that in mind, but that's also how you know that you're doing the right things here. When you're doing this ritual, this cord cutting thing, pay attention to everything that's happening, everything that you feel sensation wise. I'm about to glue the candles down. If you notice that every time that you put the candle down and then it falls again and you're like, why can't I get it to stick? That's part of it. Pay attention. Who's the candle that doesn't stick? Is it you? Is it them? Is it the situation? When it starts burning, or when you're tying the string, for some reason, sometimes the string doesn't want to tie, or like sometimes you cut it too short and you're like, I swear it was longer. Sometimes you cut it too long and you're like, oh, okay. You know, like everything, I'm not saying everything's a message, everything has a meaning, but it does. Especially if you pick at it, right? If you pick at it in the sense of, you're like, why is this happening? You know? Sometimes some of the cord cuttings that I've done, I get very frustrated. The candles keep falling. I can't tie the knot. It's like everything is up against me. I don't walk away from it because I know I'm dedicated to doing it because I feel like doing it. But I notice the struggles, and that's part. It almost becomes like a reading, and it's not tarot reading, but it's an energy reading, right? So yeah, pay attention to that. I feel called to mention that. I'm gonna cleanse a little bit. Hold on a second. And I'm definitely gonna light another incense, guys, before I start assembling again. I know I'm saying so much. I'm gonna have to put a little disclaimer in the box in the box. I'm gonna have to put a little disclaimer in the description. That this if you're interested in this, you kind of have to watch this whole thing. I know I ramble and I go on little tangents and little side quests, but it's all part of what I'm trying to get to the collective here. Okay. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna use my control candle that I said it was my control candle to melt these bad boys into place here. Okay, that was very easy. I like that. All right. We are on there. Okay. Bear with me, guys, because like I said, I am doing this for real for myself, okay? So I'm experiencing things as we do this, as you will as well, and I can describe it to you. So I can tell this is gonna be emotional. Sometimes you cry, sometimes you don't cry, okay? By the way, you tie the string however you want, as many times as you want, in whatever fashion you want. The string just needs to be tied. I'm gentle with it. I'm gonna move them up a little bit. Okay. I feel I'm not gonna. Do I cut that? I think I am gonna cut it. Give me a second. I have to get a pair of scissors. Yeah, we're cutting this. Look at that. Interesting. The way that I knew something was gonna happen. And that's my candle. That's interesting. Well, I already have it measured, so that's okay. See? Things will happen. Things happen. All right. All right. There we go. You know what we do? We just fire it up again, okay? Oh, now the other one fell. Okay. All right. Interesting, interesting, a little bit of resistance. It's okay. Maybe it's not resistance. Sometimes this tells a story of a little bit of like divine timing, if you will, right? This is the universe saying, hey. It tells a story of, because I know what I'm letting go of here. And I know that I do have resistance towards it. And this other candle falling lets me know that that side of things, some things, like I said, and I picked it up in the beginning, which is why I mentioned it. Some things here that I perceive as that I need to let go, or they're not ready to leave my life yet. I completely understand. I've perceived it before, which is why I was explaining that you cut cords, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be immediate, or that everything that you want to cut cords with just magically disappears from your energy, your life. It takes time, and divine timing is at play as well, okay? That's why we go into this with gratitude of however the outcome is, we are grateful because we've been grateful for everything that's happened up to now, okay? Whew, whew, whew. Wow. All right. I will say though, once I light these, if they fall, they fall. This is lit. It's lit. Once it's lit, basically. Yeah, once it's lit. Because you don't fix it afterwards. You fix it before you light it. After you light it, you have to let the chaos be chaos if it's going to be chaotic. It can be a little chaotic, right? I'm not gonna film. Oh, maybe I will do a time lapse of this one actually. I was gonna put a time lapse in of another card cutting that I have done, so that you guys can kind of see how you could tell flame wise who comes closer, who goes away, who burns this first, who burns it the most. It's so interesting. It's so interesting to watch. I usually like to say that you should record it on a time lapse so that it's not a super long video. And you could also see more of movement because the time lapse is cool. It gives you little snippets, right? The movement is faster because it's a faster video. But yeah, I might record this one and put it in the video, or I might give you the other one that I already have. Yeah, and just like that, we're ready to burn, baby. That's it. That's what she wrote. It's very simple. I feel called to put a little bit, just one drop of oil on the wicks for some reason. Don't ask me why. I just do what I feel like doing. Yeah, my hands. Okay, I gotta go wash my hands, but this is it. This is what it looks like. I hope this makes sense. I I, I know it was long and all over the place, but I hope it makes sense. I hope you can follow through the video and kind of get what you need from this. Like I said, it's so simple, but at the same so beautiful and so it's nice. It's, you do this for yourself, it feels good. It's a little bit of a, it's like a self-care thing as well. Go forth and play and do magic, okay? I love you all. I wish, oh, before I go, okay. You can, if you're watching, you should be watching this the entire time that it happens because it's fire, okay? You can't just set this up and leave. You could add crystals around it. I'm actually going to do that to charge it up, and then you burn it, or you could burn it also while the crystals are around it. That's something that you can do as well, okay? I'm trying to see where my other I think I definitely need a little bit of a, oh, here it is. I put this here before, so I'm gonna do it again. All right, I'm gonna put my little shell over here with a couple of crystals because that's Aphrodite's roses on here and she wants to supersede us. So we're doing that with Miss Lady. And then I have some angel wings that I've collected here. And I went to the beach the other day and I found so many of them still connected. Look how cute that one is. I think I'm going to put that one. So I'm going to put that there too. A little angel from the sea. Why not? Ooh, very sea themed. Maybe because I'm using sea salt. Sometimes I use pink salt and the vibes are a little different. Sea salt is just, all right. I see you. I also found one of these. A little crab thingy. All right. It looks like we're decorating with sea stuff. I'm down for it. I love the ocean. There we are. Look at that. Oh, and I think I'll leave this here. There's so many cute ones. Okay. All right. So you see, it just happens. You know, things just happen. You add whatever you want on here. Anything that you want for protection, you feel like you need. It's, I'm actually, excuse me, little dude. All right. Selenite seems like a good idea. I'm actually going to let this charge and not burn it eventually, definitely today. My intention was to post this before the full moon. Full moons are amazing for this. We are right at the shadow period at the beginning of the full moon and eclipse energy season. So ding, ding, ding for that. If you're looking for a very powerful thing to do, this is good for that. Full moons are great to let go. They're great to release,